Hi, it's Hesper. Welcome to the channel and welcome to my first impression slash watching of this 12 watercolor set. Centelier. Totally nailed that. Yeah. Anyway, this came very simply packaged. Just the cardboard box, the pamphlet that I threw in the recycling, and this aluminum palette slash container with the 12 tube watercolors inside and a brush that we will talk about in just a little bit. Ooh, super zoom. I like that. Thank you, editing me. Anyway, these are all of the colors that come with the set. I realized after I had filmed this and edited this that I did this entirely too quickly for me to read off all of the names, so instead you're going to get me explaining to you that I did that and just watch me demo this set of watercolors to lay on my palm poorly framed. So it has come time for us to talk about this paintbrush. Could you be disappointed by something you didn't even have any expectations for? This paintbrush came with this set, and I didn't know that it was coming with a set, and I figured, oh cool, free paintbrush. Nice. And I did the swatching of this set with the paintbrush that came along with it just so I could try it out, and oh boy, I was very disappointed. I used this paintbrush, and maybe because it's just new and I don't know, maybe I have way too high expectations of this paintbrush, but a hair came off of this paintbrush when I first started using it, and you know, let me know in the comments if that's normal, but you see me here in like just a second trying to dig out this hair from my swatch and just getting very annoyed. And then there was, whenever I dipped it in water and tried to create a nice even point with it, there was this little cowlick on the side of this brush that just stuck up away from all of the other brushes and would refuse to cooperate. And it's just, you know, like, ever have like a bad hair day and just slept on your hair weird and it just sticks up and it just wouldn't go down? There's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm not going to say it. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about the colors in this palette a little bit now that I'm done moaning about the quality of the free brush, free quote quote. And I really like the color selection. I mean, there's nothing really to complain about. You get a warm and a cool of all of the primary colors, and that covers mixing, I guess, pretty much any color that you want to. They include Opera Rose, which is like this very light pink. It's a very pretty pink, but I just don't know how often I'll use it because I don't do a lot of pink art, but I guess I can mix it with a little bit more red to get it to a purple, which will be nice because I actually use purple quite a lot. And it includes burnt sienna, Payne's Gray, and a warm sepia, which I am very happy with because I absolutely hate mixing browns and gray because it sucks. That is my scientific, qualified opinion of mixing those colors. Anyway, I really like this palette and I really like the color selection that they have. I wanted to kind of showcase here on the top left of the squares of the swatch is like a very dark, pretty much 100% concentration of the watercolor, and then kind of bleed it into a gradient. And it didn't always work for all of the colors. I wasn't very consistent with the way that I did this the first time. The second time I did this, I'll include a scan here of the actual swatch that I did that went into my container, so that one's a little bit better, but I wanted to just showcase kind of like the gradient that you can approach with these colors. I did a better job of it second time around. So I wanted to talk about a few things with this watercolor. And first things first is the price. So this watercolor comes out to $99 plus tax plus shipping. Well, shipping was free because I ordered on Amazon. And when I looked, I actually did a little bit of research for this video because you know what? You deserve it. You deserve to lie back in your seat and just have me do the work for you. So I did a little bit of research on how much it would actually cost you to buy each and every single one of these paints. And it would cost you about $95 to buy these paints. And that's the quote sale price from Blick, but I assume that that sale is one of those ones that are on sale but actually always going on type of deals. So $95, $94 to buy all of the paints. So basically you're paying $5 for the brush and the aluminum palette, which I mean, if that's worth it to you, it's worth it to you. For me it was, because I don't just like having loose watercolors, and I like to have a nice neat case for them because God knows I need help organizing and keeping my room clean. Anyway, that's my little aside about the price. So you can actually buy these watercolors for slightly cheaper if you wanted to individually. And now I want to talk about my first impression with these. And I want to preface that by saying that my only other experience with watercolors is with my Windsor and Newton student grade watercolors. I'll link them down below if you're interested in what I have to compare these to, but I've been doing watercolors for a little bit over a year, and that's from like absolute start. I'd never used watercolors before in my life to now. So that's what I have to compare it to, so you set the bar pretty low. If you're also coming from student grade watercolors to your first artist grade palette, well, look no further because I have done the work for you. Anyway, I had very good experiences with these watercolors. And actually before these watercolors, I tried the introductory set by Daniel Smith, which I think were much more expensive because they were 5mm tubes for almost $30, and these are 12 for $100. Somebody do the math for me. That work I'm not gonna do for you. And I had a really great time using these watercolors. The points that I want to hit is that they mixed very well. There were a few instances where I mixed the wrong colors and had to kind of try to add them back into the mix that I had, and they didn't go muddy. The colors were still beautiful and vibrant and exactly how I wanted them to be, which was honestly amazing. I was able to make a mistake and kind of have that leeway with the watercolors, able to mix nice and bright. Even I think I mixed 4 watercolors at one point. And maybe that's normal, something that people expect out of their watercolors, but I've heard of other watercolors getting muddy. So I was very prepared for watercolors to not mix well after I've added 4 different ones in there. So I also want to talk about how this watercolor lifts. Some people like it, some people don't, but this watercolor lifts pretty well in my experience. If you catch your mistake early enough, or if that's a technique that you do, these are great. They'll lift off the page quite nicely. Yeah, I made a few mistakes while I was actually doing this sticker set. And by the way, just to quickly plug myself, etsy.com/shop/studioesper is my store. Link down in the description if you wanted to get this very set that I'm working on of fall stickers, because everybody knows that fall is the best season. Don't at me. Anyway, So you can see me here mixing the colors, and I just wanted to say that these watercolors have a smoothness to them. I know that's not a proper term. That's not like a scientific or watercolory term, but they are very smooth to the touch, feel when you paint with them. It's not something that I can quantify, so I'm just going to move on. I had a really great experience painting with these, and if you're curious as to the light fastness, I believe they are all quite light fast, but I'll include the information in the description below and link to the website where it describes to you how light fast these are. For me, that's not really important because I don't sell any of my original works. I don't think anybody really wants them. What I do is I create sticker sheets. So these get scanned in, I process them in Procreate, and I print them out to make stickers. So light fastness isn't really important for me. What really was very important for me was being able to mix colors that I needed, because I don't want to buy a ton of watercolors, right? I want to be able to actually just grab my set of 12 watercolors and mix everything that I need to. And it hits all the boxes for me. It works really well with mixing, and I am able to paint what I want really nicely, and it lifts off the page quite easily when I make a mistake. The one thing I have to still do is to test how well it bleeds, and that's just going to be something else for later, because this palette was very solid. There was a little bit of gradients that I had to do, which were alright, but they were very simple gradients. I would like to try it out in a grander scale. Anyway, so while you're listening to me give you my concluding thoughts on this palette, I think that if you want those things that I mentioned, that this palette is a good fit for you. If you wanted something that I didn't mention, then maybe keep looking at other palettes. I have to say that I'm very, very happy with my decision to buy these watercolors. And if you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments below, and I will do my best to respond to you. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more videos. I am planning on posting studio vlogs to this video of my process of how I run my Etsy shop and what I do, and art, travel maybe. I'm babbling. Hope you have a good day. You're cute. Bye.